So this is the Beitong H2 gamepad, which can be purchased with or without the grip. We will talk about the grip later, but this is the unboxing of the gamepad itself. As you can see, this takes inspiration from Nintendo Switch, with the detachable parts but with the two triggers included for a console-like experience. The box also has the placeholder or bracket for the phone and supports between 136 and 177mm. Lastly is the USB-C cord for charging. There's no adapter included, just a cord, but you need another USB-C cable to charge the left and right pad simultaneously. There is a manual, but it's in Chinese, but fortunately they sent me the English version online, so I'll leave that copy in the description box for you to check out. The battery life lasts about 30 hours of use, which seems to be accurate as I lasted about 5 days of no charging while playing for hours every single day. The battery requires only 90 minutes to fully charge, but the company claims you can use the gamepad for up to 2 hours in just 5 minutes of charging. So with this gamepad, it's available via Simpson Lazmall store. They're actually the same store where I got the Realme GT for this channel, so they are a legitimate store that sends out legitimate products. If you buy the gamepad with a grip, the price goes up a little bit, but you can use the gamepad like a regular console joystick, and you also get the ability to connect this gamepad through a wireless receiver. To use the grip, you only need to line up and slide the pads to their places. You can use the dongle included, or you can maintain a Bluetooth connection if your computer supports it. I used the gamepad with the receiver connected to my desktop and laptop, and I had no problems like drop connections or disconnection. The grip itself is made of all plastic with textured backing for better grip when gaming for hours, and it's lightweight as well, including the pads. Using the grip feels natural as if I'm using a regular controller. Going back to the gamepad itself, the right end of the bracket extends to accommodate your phone, and the back has a 3-level kickstand that's sturdy enough to support heavy devices. There is no active cooling system here, but the surface of the bracket has a wide rubber pad to promote heat dissipation. Now, because everything is made of plastic, the gamepad does feel like a toy. Though it may feel flimsy at first, the company claims 5 million times of actuation for the shoulder triggers that use Kaiwa micro switches. We usually hear switches when talking about keyboards, but the switches used here for the triggers actually feel like a mouse click rather than a regular button, and it's actually quite satisfying to use. Okay, now for the rest of the pads. The configuration is quite standard, like you have the D-pad, your ABXY, and 2 joysticks. Your select button is represented by the return button here on the left side, while the start button here is still the same and is on the right side. I did find the select and start buttons small and in weird locations and require some getting used to. The other 2 buttons at the bottom are actually power and home/pairing buttons, so to turn on each gamepad you only need to press it once. The right pad will automatically try to connect to the left pad, which is indicated by a solid blue light, while the left pad will automatically connect to an existing Bluetooth device also indicated by a solid blue light. Connection is pretty fast, in fact the fastest I've seen so far. You can manually turn off the gamepads by holding the power buttons until the lights turn off, but they are smart enough to power down if you left them on standby for a few minutes. Now, to use the wireless receiver for a more reliable connection, you have to simultaneously press and hold the power and pair buttons of the left pad until they turn purple. Purple blinking lights basically say they're trying to pair with the receiver, and as usual, solid purple lights mean they are successfully paired. To pair the left pad, the steps are basically the same. You only need to press the power button and wait for the pairing process to complete, but instead of purple, it stays in blue. By the way, this gamepad supports unilateral modes, so you can use only the left gamepad and use the screen of your phone with your right hand if you're into that kind of gaming. I did not find any major issues during my time with this gamepad, but I have to mention that you can't be too careless when using it, as I feel like the pads can snap off easily with the force, especially since it's using plastic material all over. All the buttons are clicky and responsive, even thumb buttons feel snappy, but because this is a gamepad made for mobile devices first, the buttons don't feel as durable as regular controllers and are smaller as well in comparison. I'm not saying this is going to easily break the buttons, but you just have to take the company's word or claim when buying this one. I really like this gamepad. It makes me feel like I'm playing on a Switch. Oh, and this gamepad is actually made for the latest Honor and Huawei phones. So if you have one of those phones, the gamepad takes advantage of the chip inside to allow fast and intelligent pairing and nearby discovery. It also supports iOS devices, but only version 15 and below until a new firmware arrives. That's it. Drop a sub or like if you feel supporting the channel, and until the next one, stay safe.